Hey, it's Hunter, your craft doctor, and in this video I'll be showing you different things to make your room completely fandom room decorated. Shadow boxes are a great way to decorate your room with fandom decor because there's so many opportunities that you can do or take when you use a shadow box. And I purchased this 8x8 shadow box at Walmart, and it was around $10. And there's just so many possibilities that you can do to express your fandom in these. So it's a great idea to have. Since I'm doing a green arrow shadow box, I've done research on the green arrows, and I've decided that I'm going to do the regular tip from Arrow, the boxing glove because it's his specialty, the explosive tip from Arrow, and then the explosive from the regular DC Green Arrow. So I have 2 arrows from Arrow, the CW show, and then 2 from the regular Green Arrow. To make the green arrow's arrow, you'll need some kind of reference. I just printed this out. You've probably seen my reference sheet already. And so what I did was I took it and I layer my pieces. So first, before it was cut, I traced it out on clay, on green clay, and I cut the piece. Then I cut the paper out to the next layer to make this part. And as you can see, now when I first had it before I cut the diagram, I baked it. Then I added the second layer onto them, and then baked again. They're both baked now, and here's what it would look like. Then you add the second layer. And the type of clay I'm using is Green Bean by Sculpey. String Bean, excuse me, by Sculpey. And so next, you'll just need to curl up a teardrop shape to add that effect of having a rod in it. There are 2 different types of arrows that you can make. If you're using the DC, then it will be a green rod and like wings that look like this. And all I've done is textured them, as you can see. But if you're doing from the CW, the current reality TV show Arrow, then it'll look like a regular arrow from nowadays. And it will look like this, and the rod is black. And I made a replica of the explosive tip arrow that he currently uses, and here's the tip. You can easily change this to whatever other type of arrow you want. This is the explosive tip, hence the yellow. And the only change you can make would just be painting it a different color accordingly. Now, the original explosive tip arrow looked like this. And it would be going here. So I have both generations, if you will, right here, side by side. And it's just a cylinder, and then you put in lines with 3 dots, and then the middle is just like a crevice. Then you have the boxing glove arrow, and since it is older, it will be paired up with one of these. And this was probably the easiest one to make because it's just this kind of shape. I don't really know how to explain that. And then you just kind of put a thumb in. I textured it just a little bit. If you can see that better now. You see the like slashes I put in it just to give it that effect. And then I put in the lacing. And each of these you will have to like stick your arrow in. Now you can see the arrows and their features a lot better now that I've turned the flash on. And that's it. And then the other tip that I have is just a regular tip for this one. So glaze everything. I recommend just putting like a single coat on the boxing glove to keep it shiny but not too shiny to actually keep it looking realistic. And then you'll want the rods to look metal, so they need a shine to them. And then the wings also need a shine, as well as this kind of explosive. I've already started glazing this, as you can see, but it needs more. So glaze it and then glue on the bottoms of each of these guys to the rod. Okay, so let's be honest. We all have that one drawer that we just throw things in, and it's really practical because all your stuff's there, but it's really not, because then every time you touch it, you always end up dropping something or something falls out, and it's never organized, and it just causes you stress. Okay, so I'm warning you. I'm giving you fair warning. This is going to be rough. So here is my little shelf. Turn on the light to illuminate the horribleness. And it's mostly all my stuff that I have for polymer clay charms and just jewelry stuff in total. So it is pretty rough, but we are going to organize it. So I picked up these little totes, kind of drawer things, at the dollar store, and they were $1 a piece, and the bigger ones, you can see the difference in size. These can literally fit down in here. They were both $1. This one was a 2-pack, and then this one was a 3-pack. And I bought them both because I didn't know which one I wanted, and they're just really plain. And even though it will organize my horrible mess in my drawer, I wanted to make them Fandom themed. So whatever you want on your containers, just Google any pictures that you might be interested in. And once you've got them, just start printing out all the pictures you want, and then cut them out. Once you have everything cut out, take your glue stick, glue it on the back, and then put it on your bin however you want. Make it in a collage fashion and it will look awesome. Once you have all your stickers in the way that you want, I hardly did the sides because I won't be seeing them, especially this side. I won't be seeing it very much. But once you have them all, and do not be afraid to let them overlap on the sides here or on the bottom. Once you have it all done, fill it up with all your stuff and place it in your now organized shelf. This adds a really cool spin off to your shelf, and it looks really awesome just sitting in there. So I picked up this sign at Walmart. It was very inexpensive. It was like $2 or $3, and you can see the measurements right there. And it is a pallet sign, and it's like one of those direction boards. So I want to do this in a fandom way, so I thought up a list of different places that you could put on here, like the Poke Center, Beach City from Steven Universe, Star City from Arrow, the Enchanted Forest and Storybook from Once Upon a Time, Death Weapon Master Academy from Soul Eater, the Land of Ooh from Adventure Time, Fairy Tale Guild Hall, and of course you know that's Fairy Tale, Camp Half-Blood from the Percy Jackson series, San Francisco from the movie Baymax, Wonderland, Hogwarts, and there's some Harry Potter references, and there's just so many places you can put on here. Like, you can put, gosh, what is it that Dory says in the movie Finding Nemo? I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. It's like something Sherman in there. Anyway, and so I'm just going to paint it, the ones that I really like, and put it in my room. So once I was done painting, I put it in this little basket that I filled with fake succulents and these moss balls, and I also added rock that says Unity, which I thought was perfect considering all of these things were united, and I just put it on one of my shelves and it looks so cool. And you can do this in different ways. See, on Beach City I added actual sand here, so it's got a gritty texture. And in Star City, I added different colors of green that added the nice shimmer. And then in the Poke Center, I did several coats of paint that would thicken the Pokeball. And in Storybook, you can see the sparkles to give that magical touch. And in San Francisco, I did each of the people something or different, except Baymax because I featured him here. And then I just wadded it out with a sponge brush and then wrote it on. And so it just looks super cool on my shelf, and it is so awesome. I couldn't forget about showing you all the finished product of my arrow display. And as I said, shadow boxes are absolutely the coolest way to show your fandom and appreciate it. And here you can see the sparkle and the awesomeness. And I added just this city background because he lives in Star City. And I also have it with my Fairy Tale shadow box, which I love because Fairy Tale is my life. And I just made it. I ordered these little figures from Amazon and then printed out this picture and just glued them in there. And here's just 2 examples of shadow boxes that you can do. They are so fun and awesome. So these last 2 DIYs, I'm just going to talk to you about them to give you ideas. And I hope you've seen my video on how to make the Steven Universe door star, which is super cool and I just adore it. And so if you haven't seen that, I will be putting a link to it in the description box below. Then here's an idea for you all. It is a button wall. So I had my buttons on my backpack, but they kept falling off or people kept getting them. And so I decided that I wanted to display them where I could see them, but I didn't want to put them on my bag anymore at school. So what I did is I took a piece of foam board, that's all this is, and a black shirt that I didn't want anymore, and I cut the back out of it and stretched it over the foam board. And then I found this ribbon at Walmart, and it's like little sushis, as you can see through here. And then I just got this like chevron looking kind to go with the red and brighten it up. And I just did layers of it interlapping and like weaved in. And then you can just attach your button right onto the ribbon or the actual shirt fabric itself. And I've gotten these buttons from Christmas or like cons. I know I got them from different cons, or Hot Topic especially is a great place to get them. But this is just an idea that you all can do, and it's not that big. It is just a really little spot in between my closet and the end of the wall. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe and hit that like button.